One of the other things about being a champion for us is that we're willing to do the hard stuff first. You see, I truly believe, and we have as a principle here, like what starts off hard eventually gets easy, and what starts off easily eventually gets hard. So let's say, and I'll use my own personal life, everything that I've ever done that is now easier for me. Let's say it's fight training. Eventually it got easy, and I began to love it, and it became who I am. Business started off hard, eventually became easy. It began to define who I was, because I started to have wins. In my marriage, dealing with the problems that I had in my marriage between me and my wife and Sharon, facing the real problems that we had after, the cheating and the going back and forth and facing divorce and all the problems that we're facing, those problems that were hard, has us to the part where we're best friends now, where we can talk, where we can really enjoy each other, and we can be intimate, and we can do those things because life got easy. Going blind, having that surgery, having the arm surgery here, now being in this, having the liver and kidney down, all those different things that I had to face the challenges of my body from wear and tear over years, from fighting and the trauma and the training. I faced those things head on, and eventually the hard eventually gets easy, and I'm able to get back to training and get back to doing the things that I love. But if I avoid them, then they get worse, and then they turn into damage, and they become permanent. Avoiding it is easy. Then it gets harder. Once things get hard, someone else has to step in. And usually when people step in a hard situation, they're usually coming to save you. And what did I say when someone has to save you? You begin to become dependent on the person who saves you, because that becomes your new life vest. You don't deal with shit. It's easy. Someone steps in to save you. They become your savior. And now all of a sudden, every time you don't deal with something, you look to be saved by somebody else, who becomes your new habit. Choose to do the shit in your life that's hard, and eventually it'll become easy. What could that be for you? Maybe it's taking a look at your body. If you're fat, your ass needs to start working out. You need to start training. You need to start getting serious about where you are. While it is going to be hard, make a 10, 20, 30-year commitment to training yourself and getting to be the person that you have to be. Eventually, that 10 to 20 years is going to pass anyways, and training will be easy. Probably within the first year, because you've committed to go so long, you stop thinking about the process, and you just started thinking about the payoff. Maybe it's in your marriage. Maybe fixing your marriage and dealing with all the shit that's wrong becomes your focus, and that is the hardest thing that you can do, to sit down and tell somebody, look, shit's not working. I'm not happy. You aren't happy. If we're going to stay together, then let's deal with the things that are not making us happy, and let's focus on making these things better every day. Even if we argue, we aren't leaving each other. And then all of a sudden, what's hard? The problems, the arguments, they're going to come. But when you've already secured the floor, meaning you aren't going to leave each other, you aren't going to get divorced, then you go through those arguments, you'll go through those changes, and nobody's allowed to say the D word. And then all of a sudden, what started off hard, all the arguments go away. And then you can hold hands, then you have sex, then you connect more, then you can't wait to be around each other. That's that. If it's business, then fine. Like for me, I sucked ass in marketing. I still suck ass in marketing. I probably don't do the things that I'm supposed to do, but I've made a commitment that I will be the best in the world at what I do. And with being the best in the world at what I do, bringing in a program for men that allows us to win it all and live this win it all lifestyle and be powerful men, I know that I had to be great in marketing. That means I've made huge investments in my education in marketing, huge investments in my learning curve in marketing. I chose to do the hardest things. Making videos, telling my story, telling my truth, my private stories, sharing my private moments with you, because they're hard. So later down the line, as this business continues to grow and be what I know that it can be over the next 5, 10, 20 years, I've done all the heavy lifting and the hard work in the beginning, so that cruising into the finish line is easy for me, all right? How can you use this? Where is shit hard for you? Run into the fire. Fight. Wage war and fight for the things that you actually want by starting off in the fight. Don't sit on the sidelines as a spectator and watch that fight go down and expect things to get easier and then you jump in. That's not real life. That's not how champions play the game. All right? This is us. Wage war and fight for the things that you want. The champion's way to winning it all is that we're willing to put in the work up front and do what's hard so the rest of our life can become easy along the way. That's us. That's what I want you to focus on. Big takeaways. All right. Let's get that done.